Bienvenue tout le monde. Séance extraordinaire. Séance extraordinaire du conseil municipal de Ville-Mont-Royal, Tuesday, November 21st, 2023, at supposedly 6:30, now 6:40. And the opening of this meeting, I'm going to ask for an adoption of the agenda.
Oui, donc il est proposé d'adopter l'ordre du jour de la séance extraordinaire du Conseil du 21 novembre 2023.
Merci.
Je le propose.
Merci.
J'appuie.
Merci beaucoup. Je demande le vote, s'il vous plaît. À l'unanimité. Merci beaucoup. Et étant donné que c'est une séance extraordinaire, on passe à la prochaine étape, c'est l'adoption du programme des immobilisations PTI 2024, 2025, 2026. Alors, in front of you, this is the presentation of the PTI, which is the programme d'immobilisation, so the 3-year capital expenditure program. I'm going to be turning around a lot because I'm going to be doing this both in French and in English and flipping through my slides because I don't have slides in front of me, and hopefully my pointer will work and I don't shoot anybody with this. So, wow. Bon. Alors, comme vous pourrez voir, le budget d'orientation pour les 3 prochaines années, les priorités que nous avons établies sont les suivants. Désolé. C'est poursuivre les différentes étapes de gestion pour la concrétisation du complexe sportif et communautaire et réaliser sa construction, right next door. Investir dans nos infrastructures de génie civil, notamment les réseaux d'égouts et d'aqueducs et les routes. Très important, étant donné l'impact qu'on a eu sur nos résidents ces dernières années. Planifier la réfection des terrains de soccer et de tennis, très important. Et surtout, tous les joueurs de soccer le savent que le terrain de soccer est past due. Il est dangereux à ce point-là et plus que 12 ans, je crois. Prévoir le réaménagement du parc Mohawk, très important. Encore une bâtisse qui est vieux. Investir dans nos bâtiments existants pour les maintenir en bonnes conditions et éviter la détérioration exponentielle. Alors, on a des vieux bâtisses ici à Ville-Mont-Royal. Like your home, we got to take care of them on a regular basis. Améliorer nos parcs et remplacer des jeux de parc et poursuivre les vertissements du secteur Bates. In addition to that, the funds allocated. Hang on a second. Go back. That's it. Bon. The funds allocated will be used for the following projects in 2024. Rebuilding 10, 20, and 40 Roosevelt Avenue, building the sports and community complex, improving the sewer system, stormwaters, structures to better deal with the impacts of climate change, rehabilitating the Côte-de-Liesse Service Road overpass, rehabilitating and upgrading the artificial turf soccer fields, reconstructing, repairing, and resurfacing streets and sidewalks, reforestation along the railway, renewal, which is the REM, and if I could please have some silence, and renewal of the fleet of vehicles and heavy equipment, and updating our information technology program. So les chiffres, les montants qu'on parle annuels prévus pour les 3 prochaines années, comme vous voyez, dans 2024, on voit travaux publics et sécurité publique, un montant de... on va ventiler ça bientôt. Alors, on parle de 4 590 000. Les services d'administratifs, 882 000. Génie et urbanisme, 10 880 000. Loisirs et culture, 872 000. Quartier sportif, 73,7 millions de dollars pour la première phase. Et la décortication de ça, the ventilation of it, when we look at infrastructure, I got the right slide. That's it. Okay. Reconstruction, what we're talking about is roughly $15 million. Now, bear in mind, these numbers don't track necessarily the previous slide because these are broken down by categories. So that means that under travaux publics, services administratifs, génie, urbanisme, loisirs et culture et quartiers sportifs, part of those projects also include infrastructure programs. Alors, ça veut dire que dans la catégorie infrastructure, qu'est-ce qui est inclus de tous ces montants de 90 millions de dollars pour 2024? C'est 15 980 000 dollars, which includes reconstruction, repair, and resurfacing of streets and sidewalks, again about infrastructure, work on stormwater retention and sewer system structures, replacement and or rehab of sewer lines and water mains, repair and upgrading of soccer fields, repair of the Côte-de-Liesse overpass, replacement of lighting and light standards, traffic lights, playground equipment and water meters, construction of pickleball courts, which is going to be at Mohawk Park, very exciting, bicycle path redevelopment, reforestation along the railway, which is the REM, I always like to mention that, and park redevelopment and upgrading, reconstruction of the baseball field. Moving right along, quand on parle du deuxième phase de la catégorie, on a passé d'infrastructure au bâtiment. Alors, dans le côté de bâtiment, pour tous les chiffres encore, je reviens. C'est un petit rappel du 90 millions de dollars dans la catégorie de bâtiment. There we go. Bon, on a reconstruction de 10-20 et du 40 Roosevelt. Alors, la construction du complexe sportif et communautaire, réparation de béton et à la bibliothèque, réfection des toitures, d'un mur de briques, réaménagement de bureaux, échangeurs d'air qu'on a besoin dans nos bâtisses, recirculation d'air, qualité de vie pour les employés de la ville, réfection de la dalle de béton aux travaux publics, système de ventilation à la bibliothèque et réaménagement de la cuisine à l'hôtel de ville. Il est un peu fatigué. Et de ça, on parle d'un montant de 72,6 millions de dollars prévu. Dans la deuxième partie, on parle du catégorie de véhicules. On parle de véhicules pour la sécurité publique, camions pour les travaux publics, camions aspirateurs d'égouts et véhicules électriques pour les travaux publics. Et ça remonte à 850 000 dollars. As we move on to the following category, machinery, tools, and other equipment. We have soil sifters, mechanical excavators, sidewalk plows, stump grinders, trailer and spreaders for salt and sand, and scarifying equipment. That represents $522,000 of that particular category. In the information technology category and furnishings and hardware, we're talking about software, network-attached storage, cybersecurity solutions, extremely important, and conduits and fiber optic cabling for the whole network of communications and networking within the public administrations. And that represents about $842,000. And then under the other, we talk about Bixies, which is including additional Bixie stands. With all of that, that totals up to $90,884,000. Following, montant annuel prévu. Il y a deux sources de financement qui sont planifiées aux fins de la réalisation des projets d'immobilisation en 2024 pour les montants respectifs. Règlement d'emprunt, on planifie un règlement d'emprunt de 90 millions de dollars, j'arrondis ici, et les autres sous, ça vient du fonds de roulement 782 000 dollars. Alors, avec tout ça, on tombe à la période de questions concernant le PTI. Il y a des questions. Oh, before we do question? Désolé, moment of procedure. On va passer à l'adoption du PTI. Alors...
So we submit to Council to approve the triennial capital expenditure program in the amounts of $90,884,000 for 2024 and $29,247,000 for 2025, and $31,768,000 for 2026 respectively, as shown on the attached list of projects, and to publish in accordance with Section 474.3 of the Cities and Towns Act, the Triennial Capital Expenditure Program for 2024, 2025, and 2026 in a newspaper distributed in the town.
Thank you very much.
I move the resolution.
Thank you.
I second.
Thank you. May I have a vote, please? Passed unanimously. Thank you very much. So now we can move on to the question period regarding the PTI. Thank you. And if there are no... Oh, désolé. Attendez une seconde. Désolé. Pouvez-vous répéter, s'il vous plaît?
Oui. Nicolas Raymond, 606 Avenue Powell.
Oui.
À la page 5, dans la catégorie des infrastructures, est-ce que c'est possible d'avoir le pourcentage alloué aux points 2 et 3 sur les réseaux d'égouts, conduites, soit en pourcentage ou soit en nombre absolu par rapport aux 15 millions, 23 millions, 24 millions?
Je vais voir. J'ai les chiffres ici et j'espère de vous être capable de vous répondre. Sinon, on va vous revenir là-dessus. Alors, le montant que nous avons prévu pendant les 3 années, c'est à peu près 14 millions de dollars.
Pour les points 2 et 3.
Oui.
Parfait, merci. Je remarque qu'il n'y a pas d'entretien de l'art public à Ville-Mont-Royal. On remarque que l'art public souffre beaucoup, là, probablement des intempéries et tout. Je pense entre autres aux sculptures près de la bibliothèque. Est-ce que c'est quelque chose qui est envisagé? Je ne le vois pas, l'entretien de l'art public.
Madame Coach, il faut vous répondre.
Donc, ça, c'est un budget d'opération. Ici, ce soir, c'est à la présente séance, c'est le PTI qui est adopté. Pour ce qui est de la sculpture qui est là, oui, on en est conscient et il y a des travaux qui vont venir.
Merci.
Merci beaucoup. Yes, hello.
Hi, London, 626 Powell. At previous meetings, all of the councillors would talk just before the first question period. And often, what we had is some councillors were talking strictly in French, others were talking strictly in English or in both. And I found this upsetting. I'll tell you why. When we had the demerger effort earlier, many years ago, I found out from John Miller, who was part of that demerger committee, that I saved the committee over 750 hours of work by providing information to them that they needed. And the council are trained individuals, and I understand that, but they don't necessarily have all the knowledge to do what the council must take care of. And therefore, I think it would be very good that the councillors all talk in both languages, since the town is officially bilingual, so that if anybody could participate and help the town accomplish something, they'll have the understanding so that they're able to participate and do it.
Thank you, Mr. London. Well, certainly, we are a bilingual community. There's no question about it. We take pride in being a bilingual community, and I believe the councillors, people can speak in the language of their choice, and if there is any questions associated with what a councillor may have spoken about, I'm sure that councillor will be more than happy to exchange with any resident who is present in the meeting or who's online to give them greater amplification and clarification about what they spoke about. And because I think it's important that we maintain the bilingual status. I think it's fair that we speak in French, and I think it's fair that we speak in English, but I think to repeat things twice, the same message, just stretches things out a little bit too much.
But you're putting me into a position,
Yeah. But you have to understand, Mr. London, the questions have to be on the PTI. This is a PTI meeting.
but you're putting me into a position that each counselor that only speaks in one language, and I ask them to say the same thing in a second language, it's going to be embarrassing all the time.
Well, again, Mr. London, I understand your concern. I've taken note of it. I've responded to you, but these are questions about the PTI. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, good evening.
Good evening.
Peritanus 708 Lanark. You mentioned the soccer field. To what percentage we have to redo it? Completely 100% or less? What's going on? What do you foresee to do for the soccer field?
Well, to be clear, you're not going to change a quarter of a soccer field. When a soccer field is finished, it's artificial turf, it's done. We've got to replace the whole field.
After 10 years?
No, it's running on 14 years now.
Okay, I understand. Is it the norm?
Yep, usually they have a life of 10 years,
Okay,
unless they're indoors.
all right. I have a second question, if you permit.
Sure.
Thank you. Concerning the new sports center and community center, whatever, you have 70 million, if I do understand?
We allocated a certain amount of money, as you saw, was for infrastructure program buildings that included 1020 Roosevelt and 40 Roosevelt, et cetera, the rebuilding, reconstruction of that, the sports center. So those numbers are preliminary numbers that we've set aside for that construction of those buildings, yes.
That's including engineering, architect, engineer, civil, electrical, mechanical, and so on, or that's beside the construction?
I don't understand your question.
Okay. In any construction, you have to have a program to do it in order to see what do you want. What do
We have that. That's already been ventilated and discussed, and we have architects and engineers hired for that. And we are, planning. We have to set aside some funds, and these funds on a triannual plan are basically our best estimates at the moment, and they can change next year. And when we go out to PFT, we're going to do that. So,
Okay. My question is to be specific.
yeah.
Is the engineering drawings are included in these prices?
Engineering what?
Drawings.
Well,
Design build.
it's a design build, so yes, because it's all built in. When we do design build, engineering and design are included in that, of course.
Okay. And on which base? You subdivide the engineering drawings and the construction.
Well, I tell you what.
5%.
Yeah, so to answer your question, this is a PTI. This is a 3-year projected plan. This is not specific operational plans, which is part of a budget, but it's a plan that we're trying to do for the next 3 years. So to get into the details of those numbers, I don't have the answers for you if we subdivide it, break it down into ventilated details. It's a projection that we're doing for the next 3 years.
Okay. You estimate that is
Absolutely,
what's around.
because we have to set aside on our best guesstimate. It's like planning a budget going forward, yeah.
And your estimate is approximate.
We're hoping
far
that
is it going to be from reality?
it is our best guess at this time with the information that we have available to us, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My third question, concerning your projection, I understand that's based on printing paper. But to project it and to follow you, Mr. Mayor, can you have another format for the projection?
You want to have the details, the ventilation of the details of the projections?
You are projecting what we have on paper.
Yeah.
But in order to follow what you're saying, it's not easy to read it from here.
No, but you can actually, you have access. The PTI document is a public document, and you have access to it.
Yeah, but to follow you here in this session.
Well, I understand, but I mean, the idea here is to do a presentation of the PTI that council members have discussed and approved, and we're presenting it to the public. It's not to go over the committee work again.
Okay, so I don't see why you project them. Don't project them.
We do project it and we do present it because that is the law.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hope it's easier. Kathy Ely, 157 Cornwall. In 2013, we did an FTP plan for the sports center as it was planned at that time. Now, what's the situation on the FTP now? Is this the second one, or has there been another one in between as far as the sports and community center? We had one in 2013. Have we done the next one, or?
So to respond to your question, in 2013, that was 10 years ago. We've gone through, there's been a lot of changes that have taken place in terms of that. I mean, we can go back to 1958 when the old rec center was built and go to that. But I want to speak go forward now. So going forward, we have plans put in place. We're going design build. We've hired the engineers and architects to be able to put together the PFT. That PFT hasn't come out yet. It will be coming out, in the spring of this year so that we can go forward and go to tender. So this will be a new PFT tender. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
With designs that we are, what do we call it? How can I put it? We are reusing some of the designs that were already put into place in the existing.
2013.
I don't know if it was 2013, the last plans that were
I
made.
was
Yeah,
there.
yeah, that's fine.
I'm not in.
Whatever.
Okay, so now do we know the names of the companies that you have hired for, I believe, contractor for the design build?
We have approved those in a previous, yes, Ava, you have the name?
So what happened was, in the previous project, there was a PFT that was prepared following the 2013 PFT.
Oh, okay.
New professionals on the file were hired in the summer, I guess it was, end of the summer. It's Cardin Ramirez. It came before council in a resolution, and their mandate is in part to update that PFT and to work on the documents so that we can then go to tender for a design-build project. So they are working on the updating of the PFT and of preparing documents so that we can go to tender for design-build. So right now, there is no company who's got a contract for design-build because we haven't gone to tender for that yet. It's only the professionals, the architectural firm Cardin Ramirez that has the contract.
So they'll be doing that part and then staying with it to the end, or
Excuse me?
will they stay with the project till the end of the project, or?
They continue on the project to do supervision while the contractor, the design-build project contractor is working.
And do we see any end to when this project will be built? I think you said in the spring, or was that the plans?
No, the idea is to have the PFT prepared in the spring to go to tender at that point in time and hopefully have acceptable bids that we're going to move forward with and get a shovel in the ground by late fall of 2024. I mean, that's my objective. I want to see things moving
Okay.
as quickly as possible.
And when do you think it'll be finished?
I have no idea. We have to see what the plans are and what the tenders are when they come in and what the timeline that they provide us with.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And with that, we bring this PFT,
PTI.
PTI, sorry. This PTI presentation to a close, and I will ask for a closing of the meeting.
Donc, il est proposé de lever la séance.
Merci.
Je propose.
Merci.
J'appuie.
Merci beaucoup. Je demande le vote, s'il vous plaît. Unanimous. Thank you very much. Thank you all. We'll take a small break. We We will open up with the regular meeting.